This will be part four of answering questions from TikTok. 5 questions from TikTok. That would be a long video. Hopefully, you stay to the end because it gets very interesting. So this is what I gotta say. In eternity past, God knew in advance that Lucifer would fall into sin because he's seeing the sin of pride in his heart. We read that in Isaiah 13 verses 12 to 14 and Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 12 to 14. God gave Lucifer free will to choose whether he rebelled against him or serve him. Lucifer wanted to become like God by having his own throne above God and wanted to be worshipped like God. In the beginning, God created Lucifer good to serve him and worship him, but decided later on, because of his free will, he decided to become evil. Lucifer became evil himself. Nobody forced him. He rebelled against God, and on that day, like Jesus says in John 8:44, he was a murderer from the beginning. On that day, Lucifer murdered God in his heart because of his hatred towards him. Just like many people today hate God, shaking their fist at him for no reason at all. Um, but God wasn't having it. He kicked him out of heaven and removed him from his position. Um, so today, Lucifer, also known as Satan, is accuser of the brethren or born again Christians. That he accuses them before God day and night, like we read Revelation 12. He knows his time is short because later on will be thrown into the lake of fire burning with brimstone, where he will be quarantined for eternity, like we read in Matthew 25:41 and Revelation chapter 20 verse 10. Now, if God had destroyed Lucifer at that very moment, he would have become the heavenly tyrant. Free will become useless. He would have lied. His grace and mercy and love would have made sense. But the Bible teaches that God does not lie like man does. It is impossible for him to lie. We read that in Numbers 23:19, Titus 1:2, and Hebrews 6:18. God would have turned the evil. Moreover, as the evil heavenly tyrant, he would have destroyed Adam and Eve as well with these, throwing thunderbolts at them, turning them into dust in the Garden of Eden. Um, Adam and Eve's ashes would have been blown in the wind, and in his fiery rampage, took it all, took it all with all his creation, and it would have been in deep trouble, and because of his wrath, destroyed the entire universe, and decided not to create another universe ever again. Just sat on his throne in his hot anger in heaven with the host of heaven, and they would have been terrified for eternity of his heavenly iron fist of tyranny. God in his wrath would have crumbled the universe in his hands into a microscopic ball and thrown into the black hole, ceasing to exist. We wouldn't exist today. Understand? Now you understand, right? But God, thank God, He's not like that. No, that like man thinks. He doesn't violate our free will. He doesn't. We read in Nahum 1:3 in the Old Testament. The Lord is slow in anger and great in power. The Lord will by no means clear guilty. His way is in the whirlwind storm, and the clouds of dust to his feet. We are still here because God is slow to anger but great in power. That's what the question said, right? He is long-suffering, loving, kind, compassionate, and his tender mercies are new every morning. His faithfulness will never fail, or fail not. We wouldn't be alive here today. It is a miracle. We would have been destroyed long ago. The Bible teaches that God is not evil, but good. In Exodus 33:19, God told Moses that all his goodness would pass by him. In Psalms 34:8, we read, taste and see that the Lord is good. In Psalms 107, verse 1, the psalmist says God is good. In Psalms 145, verse 9, we read that God is good to everyone. In Matthew 19:17, Jesus says the following to the young rich ruler. So he said to him, why do you call me good? No one is good but one, and that is God. But you heard that? No one is good but one, and that is God. But you, if you want to enter life and to keep the commandments. Um, Notice the words of Jesus. No one is good but one, and that is God. There you go. In Romans 8:28, we read that God works all things together for the good of those who love Him, we're called to according to His purpose. In James 1:17, we read that God gives good gifts to us, like the gifts of life, time, family, love, goodness, friends, intelligence, talents, music, creativity, working, wealth, possessions, enjoyment, happiness, joy, kindness, and so forth. Truly, truly, we serve a good God. Like the Christian saying goes, God is good all the time. And God is good. So that's my answer to the question number 4. And I will continue with the last question when I have time. So thank you for it. If you made it this far in the video. Um, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell when I make videos like this, or just talking about the Bible or verses from the Bible or anything else. You'll be notified. Thank you for watching, and you have a blessed day.